Hi everyone, my name is Kayla Boyce from Women in Data Science, Trinidad and Tobago, and in this short demo, I'll be showing you how we can take a cleaned dataset and quickly turn it into a simple dashboard using Power BI. The dataset that we'll be using contains economic indicators for Trinidad and Tobago, including GDP growth, inflation rates, and unemployment rates. So to get started, we'll go ahead and load in our dataset into Power BI, which we can simply do by, in this homepage, we'll just click on Excel Workbook since the dataset is on Microsoft Excel. Go ahead and load that in. Okay, at this point, what we'll do, we see some display options. We have to make sure that we select the right one. So in this case, it will be the first one. We'll go ahead and load this in. Okay, it just takes a couple of seconds, and once the data set is actually loaded, you can then create the visualizations to explore the data. Now that everything is loaded and ready, the first thing that we're going to do is we have to think about which type of chart we'll be using for the visualization. Since we will be analyzing. All right, now that the data has been loaded in completely, we have to think about which type of chart we'll be using to visualize the data. And since we're looking at trends over a period of time, I think that the best chart that we can use will be a line chart. So you simply look for the line chart in the list of visualizations options. You can click it and it will populate itself right here. And to actually see any data or lines populating, we have to fill out the X and Y axis as well as the legend. So the first thing that we'll do is we will add the year field to the x-axis so that it will show up at the bottom. And for the y-axis, which is vertical, we will show the values. So similarly, we'll drag it and drop it into the y-axis option. Lastly, for the indicator, we'll drag that into legend. And here you are able to see the three indicators populating on the line chart. Go ahead and resize your chart accordingly so that it takes up the vast majority of your screen since it is the only chart that we will be displaying. What we'll have to do now is just some really quick formatting just to ensure that this is readable and clear. You have to ensure that your dashboard is presentable. All right, so looking at this chart, the first thing that kind of grabs my attention is the title of the chart. It has been auto-generated, so it isn't necessarily the best. So we can go ahead and fix that with no problems. So you'll go ahead in the Visualizations tab, click on Format Your Visual, then General, and Title. Here in the box, you have the option to type out a new name for your chart title. We can go for something like Economic Indicators Overview. For now, we can change it at any time, as you can see. We can adjust the font. I personally like this Tigo font the best. So we'll click on semi-bold since it is a title. We want it to stand out just a little. Increase the font size to about 15. 16 is okay. You can play with the alignment, check to see if it is you prefer for it to be center aligned or left side aligned. It can stay left aligned for now. All right. Next, what I am looking at is the name of my y-axis. It's sum of value. Again, it was automatically generated. So similarly, click on visual and then y-axis and the title so that we can go ahead and rename it to something that makes a bit more sense. So probably something like indicator percentage. I'll leave it like that for now. Another thing that I'd like to do is after collapsing the y-axis, you can click on legend. And I would like to see how it looks to have the legend adjusted differently. So I'm going to play with it and see how it looks to the top right side. Maybe I like this a bit better. And at this point, it really is up to your own personal preference where you prefer to see it. Once the stakeholders are able to see the indicators and the dashboard clearly at the end of the day, all of these little minute details really come down to your personal preference. As for the lines, I would like to adjust these two blues, these two lines, as I don't want to use two blue colors. We have a wider variety of colors that we can choose from to make sure that they are very different to each other. So for example, I just scroll down it and clicked on lines, and I will start with GDP growth. So the GDP growth has this beautiful blue color. We can probably leave that as is. Inflation rate has the other blue color, dark blue. I can probably change this to something like this yellow. And going to unemployment rates, I can probably change that to a red. something that just really makes it stand out the most. I like that the best. So these three lines are distinctly different from each other. So you can see clearly the blue is GDP growth, the yellow is inflation rates, and the orangey red is unemployment rates. And just like that, we've created a very simple visualization that allows us to explore the economic trends over time. From here, we can sort of expand this further into a full interactive dashboard, one that looks like this. That includes the indicators and filters even to explore the data in more detail. So during the workshop, we'll actually walk through the full process step by step to build a dashboard like this. Thank you so much, and I look forward to exploring the data with you. Bye.